America runs on Dunkin', and Dunkin' Donuts runs on Perry Ludy. Meet him. Coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're east of Chicago Pizza, where pizza is done right. The 2007 Kids Restaurant of the Year at 3901 North Kings Highway. We're focused on the expansion of Carolina Restaurant Partners, and we're visiting with its president and the author of Profit Building, Perry Ludy.
Yes.
Good morning, Perry.
Good. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you so much for coming in this morning and obviously bringing in this box of donuts. We
Really
pounded down
it.
most of the donuts, still had a couple in there, but it fit well. And of course, this coffee from my favorite location there. And
it's liquid gold.
Absolutely. Listen to that. I've never heard that. Liquid gold. Good words. Yes. Well, thank you again. I'm almost finished. And I know you obviously finished your cup earlier.
Oh, yes.
So thanks again for getting in. It was so nice of Sean to let us get in a little early in the morning before they open up. I think they may still have some folks in even here early in the morning. But
they have an excellent facility here.
It is. Yep. It is a great location here, and it's not far from your location. I bet a lot of his folks probably stop in at Dunkin' on the way up here in the morning.
And vice versa.
Absolutely, yeah. Here in the afternoons. A lot going on with Carolina Restaurant Partners.
Yes.
You guys are jamming.
Yeah, we've had a very, very good summer. We're real pleased to what's happened, and we're starting our new unit development phase, where between now and the end of the year we'll be opening a bunch of new sites and then continuing that on for the next 6 or 7 years.
Absolutely. We want to highlight that. You know, a lot of folks have talked about here in the Myrtle Beach area, surely with gas prices impacting everyone, with employment figures the way they've been. Has that really taken a toll on your locations here on the Strand?
Yeah, that's a good question. We've kind of been in a fortunate situation. The way we approached business and trying to add growth and on top of what we've done is probably a little bit different. We understand that on an annual basis there, typically is around 13 to 14 million tourists that come in.
Right.
And this year numbers have been a lot less than that. But our feeling is that if it were 2 million that came in, we see that as 2 million incremental customers that we're going to go out and get our share of those. So we kind of don't let that bother us. And we've been real fortunate. Our stores have grown 25 to 35%
oh, come on.
over last year. So
is that right?
Yeah. So it's worked out very, very well for us.
Y'all actually stepped in and took over ownership. When was it exactly last year?
It was September 24th of last year.
So literally, we're right at 11 months now.
Exactly.
That is tremendous.
Yeah.
That is tremendous, Perry. Well, you've got to be excited. Of course, you'll know in a couple of months, looking back, if you can keep that 25 to 30%, but that's still incredible.
We would love to try to do it year over year, but
absolutely.
But we feel we're off to a good start. We feel a lot of things have gone right. We were real fortunate and recruited some very, very strong management.
Great.
We've made some changes in some customer service kinds of things. Right. As you know, we put some new equipment in to our stores. And then we've also done some very, very aggressive, out-of-the-box thinking in our marketing kinds of plans.
Yes,
and,
we want to highlight some of those as well. Absolutely. For viewers who may not know where your locations are, and of course we'll talk a little bit about where you're expanding, but where are the physical locations currently?
Our current 3 locations, one is located on the corner of 30th and Kings Highway.
Right.
It's our older unit that will be remodeled this year.
Sure.
And then our 2 newer units, one is on 501 across from Carolina Forest.
Right.
And the other is on 17 Bypass next to Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Tremendous. And these are, and of course we've got the placement here, but these are all Dunkin' Donuts. Is it exclusively Dunkin' Donuts in those locations?
The one location on 30th and Kings is exclusive Dunkin' Donuts.
Right.
The other 2 are what we call combos, which is a combination of Dunkin' Donuts and Baskin-Robbins.
Okay. Have
So
you found that those combos work well?
They work very well depending on the market that they're in.
Right.
If you're in a market that has a lot of tourists or a lot of families, you'll move a lot of ice cream sales.
Sure.
But the other side of that, our store on 30th is right in the middle of a tourist market, and Rick and his crew, they sell a lot of coffee and a lot of donuts.
Oh, yeah.
But the ice cream does better in more of a family-oriented market.
Right.
And Myrtle Beach has a lot of ice cream up and down the Strand, so we probably will stay more with the donuts and coffee as opposed to opening a lot more ice cream locations.
I recently had a smoothie at your 30th Avenue location there, and of course they sell a ton of iced coffee. I'm amazed whenever I pop in there to grab a cup I almost always see someone buying iced coffee.
Iced
so surely
coffee has done
cold
extremely
coffee
well.
smoothies,
Yes.
have those taken off well?
Those have done well, and then
Right.
we do have a lot of different ice-related kinds of drinks that we will serve in all the stores, and so we feel that that'll work real well in terms of as a customer wants something a little cooler to drink than just the hot coffee.
That's tremendous, absolutely. Well, I got to admit, I actually get a couple pieces of ice when I go in.
That's
is
what they
hot
say.
coffee.
They tell
yeah.
me that's how you have yours
That's
made.
exactly right. Thank you again. You were right on the, you nailed it. You nailed it. Of course, we talked about plans to add new stores to the area when you were with us. I guess it was the end of last year. We were there at Graves Pools and Spas.
Yes,
It was not long after I met you. This is actually my signed copy when we met up there at the 30th Avenue location there. Rick Marsh, your manager there, was kind enough to introduce us. You were with us there at the great location out at Graves Pools and Spas, but of course it gave us an opportunity not only to highlight profit building, but also your expansion plans.
Yes.
Share with viewers, give them a little sense of where Carolina Restaurant Partners is heading.
Yes, I sure will. We purchased a SDA, a store development agreement from Dunkin' Brands, which includes, that means we own the territory in 8 counties.
Wow.
So I believe the PD, DMA, those
right.
counties there. And so with that gives us the rights to have exclusive rights and responsibility to open 25 to 30 stores over the next 6 or 7 years.
Is that right?
So
in those 8 counties?
Only in those 8 counties.
Right.
And we feel that once we develop those, we'll also start looking beyond that because there's some great territories, you know, even that are unowned at the present time.
Right.
But what we would basically look at doing is opening probably about 3 to 5 stores a year.
Okay.
And with that in mind, we're gearing up to open 3 by the end of this year, and those are going to be located in the city of Florence.
Is that right?
Yeah.
All 3 in the city of Florence?
All 3
all
will be
within the
spread
next
out.
4 months?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Perry.
We're ready to rock.
You're going to be moving to Florence for the next 4 months. How are you going to do it? Yeah.
For a month or 2, we'll have more stores. We'll have as many stores in Florence as we do here. But then quickly after that, we'll open a store in Conway.
Right.
Around January, February. And then our plan would be 3 to 5 stores each year going forward until we hit our particular number or until the market is penetrated enough to where it has enough, you know, Dunkin' Donuts locations.
That's tremendous. That's tremendous. Well, of course, you've got Robinson and Scotland County, the homes of Lumberton and Laurinburg in North Carolina.
Those are 2 cities we have our eyes on.
Great areas. You've got Marlborough County with Bennettsville. You've got Marion County, Dillon County, obviously Darlington County with Hartsville and Darlington, and then O'Ree.
Hartsville's a good market,
so you
too.
Hartsville, wow, with Sunoco there, one of the largest, probably the, if not the largest, one of the 2 largest publicly traded companies in South Carolina with SCANA. So you've got a tremendous opportunity right there in Hartsville. The Governor's School located in Hartsville, a lot of students up there, Coker College.
Wow, you don't know that area well.
Oh, we filmed up there. Carolina People's been up there many times. We've got a lot of dedicated viewers up there. Absolutely. It's a great area. So that should be a crackerjack opportunity for y'all.
Yeah, we've made some good relationships in a short amount of time up there. And in fact, one of the folks of long-term family in the Hartsville area, the gentleman, his name is Lex West. He owns the Marquette convenience stores behind some of the gas stations. And it looks like we're going to partner and do 3 or 4 sites with them. And in fact, in Florence, by the end of the year, we'll open a site near the DuPont facility
out near Francis Marion.
Exactly.
Right down.
Yeah, right on 76 right there. Perfect perfect
I love
location
it.
there.
I've been looking for that right where that cutoff is, the shortcut up there by Roche and heading up to 95.
Right there, exactly.
That is brilliant.
Right there.
Well, that'll really get them in.
And then across from Magnolia Mall, right in front of the convention center.
Great.
Right in that location. And
someone is, and you not being from the area, Perry, someone has obviously been involved in helping you select these locations because those are heavily trafficked locations and great secrets for locals.
Yeah, we have an excellent real estate broker his job is to comb our SDA and find the sites that make sense for us economically. Tremendous. And then we go to try to tie them up. So
that is wonderful.
Last time I was with you, we talked about trying to put something by the Hard Rock
theme park,
yes. And we were very, very excited about that. And just couldn't get, I had a couple sites that I looked at, and we just couldn't get those to pencil out properly in terms of the economics that we need to open up new facilities. And I guess now the traffic hasn't met probably anyone's expectation
I'm
out there.
sure
So
tough for them,
so
and I sure pray it'll get much better, and you may end up going back there someday.
We definitely will keep our eye on that
Right.
and see how that particular works, because it's in an area in town that there's a gap in our market that we'd like to be there, but
Sure.
there needs to be a little bit more traffic generation.
Right.
And we'll keep our eye on that location and see what happens in that maybe in 2009, 2010.
Right. Are there some other areas in the county that y'all are thinking about in Horry County that viewers can possibly think? I mean, surely you've got folks that travel from North Myrtle down to your 30th Avenue location.
Exactly.
You've probably got folks from Earl's Inlet,
Exactly.
the Garden City area that travel up to your location there in Surfside near Blue Cross Blue Shield. So
yeah, there's a couple very, very good sites that we're looking at. One on 544.
Great, good.
Good distance away
Don't
from
give
our
us too many
store.
secrets
Right,
here.
I
That's
can't
right.
give
You
you
don't
the
want to
exact
run up
site,
the
right.
numbers there, yeah.
And up and down the Strand,
Right.
basically we're looking at some sites. We do have several sites in
That's great.
Horry that will start picking up into probably second, third quarter of 2009.
That is tremendous. Well, of course, you talked about the remodel at the 30th location. You're also expanding, and I need to let you know I actually passed 2 Dunkin' Donuts to get up to that 30th
Wow.
location.
Well,
I
we
think there's
appreciate
probably other folks that'll travel to that location. So hopefully it won't be down very long.
We're trying to figure that all out now, but it
Right.
looks like it's probably going to be between 7 and 8 weeks, unfortunately.
Okay, right.
But we'll try to keep everybody excited,
Yeah.
and not missing us too much.
That's-
But that will expand, and it's going to be the latest state-of-the-art Dunkin', and I think a lot of people in town are going to want to come and see it, and we plan on yelling it and screaming it all over the Strand, letting people know that it's open to bring people into it. So
That's great. Perry, a lot of folks may have missed you when you were with us back at Graves Pools and Spas. What's your background? How did you open the door to get into getting exclusive rights to 8 counties? I mean, what set the stage for you to be able to do that with the Dunkin' brand?
Greg, I've been around the restaurant industry for a number of years, and I started with PepsiCo when they actually owned Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, KFC.
Right.
I ended up being a divisional vice president, had responsibility for over 1,000 Pizza Huts.
Wow.
600 of those were company owned and operated.
Right.
400 was franchised, and my staff had responsibility for all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So we basically had responsibility for creating the advertising, making sure the franchisees were profitable, making sure our own company operated stores were profitable.
Right.
And we had the right to buy stores from our franchisees or sell stores to them or acquire other organizations and convert them into Pizza Huts, and did that for about 12 years.
Wow, that long?
Yes, and then myself and a partner of mine, we actually became the largest franchisee of Little Caesars, where we bought 59 company-owned Little Caesars.
Is that right?
Over a four-state area, and that was an interesting thing where we really we learned a lot about problem solving and
right, sure,
and raising capital and those kind of things to do that. And then I was fortunate enough to author my business book,
Profit Building. Absolutely. I want to hold that up. I sure want to ask some more questions about Dunkin' and what y'all are doing, but I'll hold that up if we don't have much time to talk about it. But yes, that authoring this book was what year? Did it
that was done in the year 2000.
It came out in 2000.
And it was endorsed by a number of executives in the restaurant industry.
I remember that.
And then I was able to build a consultancy on the basis of the processes in the book. And I was a consultant, both domestic and international, with restaurant companies and other type of businesses. So I kind of had a hand in the restaurant industry. And then when Dunkin' Donuts was purchased by a lot of the big venture capital kinds of company and equity partner kinds of company, like Carlyle and Bain, they started creating a very aggressive development plan where they put in what's called large area developers. And so a lot of people wanted to buy various territories for Dunkin' Donuts. And then so Dunkin' started partnering a lot of the folks in the equity capital market with people who had operating experience.
Yes.
And so I met with the group, and then we agreed on this part of the country.
Right.
And then the rest is history, where we plan on. We acquired these first 3 stores, and now we're going to open the remainder.
That is tremendous, Perry. Well, I know one of the key ingredients for you has been people. Do you feel that is the real key ingredient for success in your operations?
No question. And I would say probably most businesses in the world, it really would come down to people. for me, regardless of what type of business I was in or would go in, I first concentrate on getting the right people on board. Get those people on board, train them to deliver state-of-the-art customer service, and then start creatively trying to pull in, revenues in terms of marketing. And then once that faucet is flowing, then try to pull the strings a little bit to bring the profits in. But people are the centerpiece to that, and we're real fortunate in our market here. We have a lady named Jenna Willis, who's grooming to be a district manager for us as we open our stores. She'll take over the day-to-day operations of all the stores.
She's had experience in similar locales.
Number of years experience here in the Myrtle Beach area. She was with Bojangles and also Pizza Hut. Tremendous. So she brings a tremendous amount of experience. And we were able to recruit 3 other people, a lady named Beth Case, a gentleman named Tommy Hayes, a gentleman named Paul Mack. And then, of course, with Rick and his outstanding staff at 30th, we have a good platform of people to start growing from. And then what we would do is the people who are now, say, in our assistant manager roles are being trained to be restaurant general managers on a timing that when we open a new store, they basically go and open that store. Exactly. So it should be able that they'll take with them the standards of operations that we have and the people development aspect that we have, the customer service things we're trying to install.
How exciting, Perry. That must be fun to see it in action and to know that, having been in the business long enough, to know that folks that may now not be able to imagine what it'll be like for them 3 or 4 years from now, to know that they're perfectly suited for getting to that finish line 3 or 4 years from now. That's
really the hardest thing. We like at Pizza Hut, I had 120 area supervisors, and so you're always taking over new areas, and there's every problem known to man would be happening that day somewhere in our 19 states. So you develop this the ability to have arrows in your quiver, so to speak, to go after different kinds of problems. So you kind of see things. But the hardest thing is for, like, the team we have right now, who hasn't, I was with that group for over 10 years. So to have teams that are able to go at that, a lot of the problems that they're seeing are for the first time in our team. So, but you're able to, to try to put some development in place on a daily basis so that they can basically crawl before they start running. Right.
How exciting! How exciting! You talked about aggressive marketing, and I know a lot of folks want to think. You mentioned aggressive marketing. How has that rolled out, and what's been the secret of that success, Perry?
Yeah, for us, fortunately, it's been 2 words. Linda Ludy, my wife.
Oh, get down!
She has a tremendous background in marketing. She had worked with Gannett Outdoors companies, and she also ran and was responsible for all the community relations and public relations for the LA Olympic Games.
Is that right? Back in
1984. Yeah. Wow. So that just naturally, she just has.
You don't have to say anything else. That's right.
And every day comes up with ideas for us. We've done some real interesting things.
What have been a couple that, we got about 5 minutes, what have been a couple that really stand out over the summer or even before the summer? I can think of them, but for viewers who may not be familiar with them.
One real bold move that she convinced me to do, we actually had a Harley bike raffle where in our 3 stores, where when customers came in, when they purchased X amount of product, for every $1 they purchased, they were able to get an entry ticket. And we actually generated, over 40,000 entries.
Oh, come on! For
a Harley raffle, and we had Linda design this because of the aspect of trying to get the biker market in, and those kind of things.
Very important market.
We felt it was a very, very important market for our business. And in fact, what normally happens for us in our industry, we went back and looked at the history of the stores in the area. Usually, the business starts climbing in March. In April, it climbs. But then, the last 10 years, there was a big gap in May, and then it started coming up again. But with this Harley raffle that Linda put together, we actually kept going up April, May, June, and continuing to go up. And so that had worked real well.
That's tremendous.
And then she came back with again, because of the economic situation, we basically came back with a gas giveaway raffle where it was more geared and for some locals and that aspect of
Sure.
it, which basically the winner of that raffle won gas for a year.
Right.
So it was an interesting promotion for us also.
Yes, yes.
And she has just a number of things
You've
going
had some great success at the Myrtle Beach Pelicans ballpark. That's really ramped
That has
up.
been
Folks have been seeing that DD out there all over the place.
Exactly. We bought an inning out there,
Right.
and basically, if the Pelicans hold their opponent scoreless, it's donuts for everybody in the stadium. So
Wow.
And then so usually every night they're calling me saying, there's 5,000 people getting coupons. You know,
Oh,
that kind of thing. So then I call the stores and say, okay, turn
ready.
the ovens on.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
kind of thing. But that's worked out real well for
Oh,
us. And
yeah.
we plan on doing that obviously again next year because the Pelicans have done
They have
extremely
kicked
well.
butt, yeah.
And we'd like to continue to partner with them.
Absolutely. We had Charlie Myrick with us earlier this week from the Heart Association. And North Johnson, the GM there at the Pelicans, is really helping out for the Heart Ball this year. And to hear the success with the Pelicans, that's a great franchise to be associated with as well. They're doing a crackerjack job.
Right.
Yeah. How exciting, Perry. Well, of course, you mentioned Profit Building. You're a very successful book that came out in 2000. What's the status of Profit Building now? Do you continue to get out and promote it and get out and make presentations about it?
It's been very interesting. It's kind of like good news, bad news. The good news is that there's a renewed interest in the book. The bad news is because the new interest in the book is due to the economic situation, where people are looking for ways and businesses are looking for ways where they can reduce costs without really cutting their staffs back.
Right.
And as you know, in Profit Building, it just lays out a lot of ideas and puts in place a process that there's a number of things that organizations, large and small, can do,
Sure.
without taking that big knee-jerk reaction and laying off their staffs of folks. So there's a lot of interest in that. We're getting a lot of calls on the book from that aspect.
Great, good.
And the other part of it is that the European market has also, the book has been translated into 5 different languages.
5 different languages.
And usually once or twice a week.
Could you read them in any of those languages?
No, I can't. I can recognize my name,
right?
But like it's in
back.
Chinese, Indonesian,
No.
Swedish, Polish, German.
That is tremendous.
And so in those countries, there's been a pickup in sales in that, and also in China with the Olympics, there is also we saw a big pickup there also.
That is wonderful. Of course, the tagline there, "Cutting cost without cutting people," is really an important one. And whether you're a business owner or working in a business and thinking about what's going to happen to me, knowing that this is a book you want to get in front of your boss.
Exactly.
This is a book you want to get in front of folks around you. This is a book you want to get into coworkers' hands almost, because there's so many great steps in there that you would encourage a manager to bring into the forefront.
Exactly right. And as we said earlier, that people, I believe that people is the keystone piece to operating a good business. And so if you can find those people and not cut them or lay them off, I mean, obviously, they're the very ones that can find those ideas that'll let you weather the storm when you come to like an economic downturn.
Great point, Perry. What's the future of Carolina Restaurant Partners?
We will be in the area opening the stores we had, and then once we open we concentrate on the area or saturate the area that we're in. We'll look to buy another SDA and keep on going, because Dunkin's plan is to open a number of stores across the country.
Right.
They're on fire and doing very, very well. So we'd like to be a significant part of that.
That's tremendous. Well, we're going to see that happen. Perry, I'm
Super.
sorry we've run out of time
no
again.
I enjoyed it.
Back to back. Absolutely.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Stay tuned to a little more Carolina People with Perry Ludy, the president of Carolina Restaurant Partners and the author of Profit Building. Coming up next. Don't you wish that happened more often? Think about it. Don't you wish it happened more often that presidents of big companies would turn the focus back on the people around them, the people surrounding them? That happened 3 times in this interview, just in the last 25 minutes sitting here. Of course, Perry, in thinking about the success of Carolina Restaurant Partners, he highlights his tremendous managers, the tremendous staff, the tremendous customers of the business, all turning it back on others. Then when talking about the success of the marketing plan for Carolina Restaurant Partners, what does he do? He not only shows that he's focused on people, but that he's focused on relationships, the relationship with his wife, putting it back on Linda Ludy. And think about it, in the course of this entire time, another tremendous focus on people is writing a book about cutting costs without cutting people. Think about the significance of turning it away from him and back to the people around him. Take the time to learn more about him, learn about profit building, learn about Carolina Restaurant Partners. Pop into a Dunkin' Donuts near you. Perry, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah.